As you can see, guys, Dragon Ball Games put out a tweet yesterday, or I guess in the early hours of this morning, if you're over here. After the cancellation of the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2025, we reviewed our plans for the DBFZ World Tour Finals and the Sparking Zero Dramatic Showdown Finals. The finals will be streamed on March 15th, 16th, 2025. And then they've got the networks it's going to be streamed on. More info soon. Thanks for your support. And then the actual bulk of it here, the image here reads, Dear players, after the cancellation of the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour, we reviewed our plans. Yeah, we just read that. Our priority is to create a great experience for the qualified players and to deliver exciting finals as soon as possible. We want to ensure that neither our players nor our spectators have to wait too long. Therefore, we've made some changes to the tournament format. For the DBFZ World Tour Finals, we will not have the last chance qualifiers for Dragon Ball Fighters. The finals will now feature the top 15 players from the global leaderboard and the EVO winner. This is devastating news. I'm not gonna lie. This is a tough pill to swallow, man, for a lot of these guys. And the thing that really hurts me the most about this is we did an entire season to get our winners. Let me bring it up here. Let me bring up the esports portal here for Dragon Ball Fighters. So right here, let's just take a look at the let's take a look at the leaderboard. So this is the global leaderboard. So they're taking the top 15, which would be, oh, let's go. Looks like my boy Plug made it in. But, you know, I'm happy for him. But at the same time, I feel really bad for these guys, the online challenge guys, because look, these guys that placed first on the leaderboard on each of these 6 regions earned a ticket to go to Battle Hour and participate in the LCQ. So what are they going to do for them? Like what happens here? Like, what happens for these guys? They won. They won their ticket. They won a chance to go play at the finals, but they can't do anything now. I guess nothing. I think the least they could do is just pay them the equivalent of what the travel would have been. That's the least you can do. And I hope that they compensate them somehow, because that feels really bad for them. They worked an entire season to go play at the LCQ and potentially get a chance to play in the World Finals. And they can't even do that now. And not only that, the players that wanted to fly directly to Battle Hour just to play in the LCQ, that were grinding, that were playing, that were ready to compete, they don't have that opportunity anymore. That sucks. And not only that, yes, correct, Inzem has said that he doesn't even play the game anymore. He's not going to go. So what happens here? Do we go down to these guys? But then this is a 3-way tie. So how do we decide this? It's all just messed up right now. A 4-way tie, sorry. We go down here. It's a 4-way tie, bro, for 16th spot. So like, what happens here? I don't have a clue. I don't know what to say, man. But yeah, I guess, you know, it's a massive shame. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. It's obviously going to be like a closed off environment. There's going to be no crowd, no which is another huge thing. Not having a crowd for something like this really hurts the overall feel of the event. Like, the crowd is part of the reason why we love offline fighting games. And this just feels like we're taking a step back. We're going back to, like, you know, COVID times when we would shoot in a studio and the only reaction would be the other players. Like, that's cool and all, but it's not the same. You need a crowd at the World Finals, man, but we're not going to get that. This is just going to feel like such an afterthought. The least they can do is, I hope, provide a good quality production for the finals. Look after the players that are attending. Make sure that everything goes smoothly. You know, goes off without a hitch, because this is just it's a big shame, bro. Not only that, this, bro, the Sparking Zero stuff, these guys got kind of screwed as well, because I think they're taking the 9 winners from the online tournaments here. If you remember that I commentated these. So they're taking the 9 winners from that. But the 7 champions from the on-site tournaments, this is not happening anymore. There's no LCQ for this, obviously. So I guess that we're just going to have this side of things, you know? And I don't know what the format's going to be. Maybe they're going to change the rules, because the rule was you get given one of these characters, and now 7 of these characters are not going to be available for use. So I have no idea what they're going to do. They're just going to do a bracket with 9 people, a 9-man bracket, I guess, which is really weird. But there's not much else they can do right now, seeing as they're not hosting any LCQs. So it's all a mess right now. It's really hard to say, you know, how we look at this moving forward, because it's obviously not a good look. Who knows if this is going to be the last tour for DBFZ? Most probably the last esports event for Sparking Zero. I can't see them doing more of these in the future, not with the game, the reception it got, you know, for these ones. If this is the way that Dragon Ball esports goes out, this is horrible. I really don't like that. But it is what it is. Nothing can be done. This is what they want to do, and they're the ones that call the shots, you know. If the community still want to do stuff for the game, then excellent, brilliant. We'll always support that, of course. But if this is the way that the esports side of things ends, then that sucks. It's that simple. It sucks. You can't really go out with a bang when the majority of the player base is not invested in the game, because when you had a lot of people playing the game and there was a lot of, you know, buzz around the game, that's when Bandai should have been pushing big events as hard as possible. Instead, we got lackluster communication with the development and the team, and they kind of dropped the ball. Let's be honest, they dropped the ball. Most of the player base is not invested anymore. You have like maybe 10% of the overall player base still playing actively. 10% of like the competitive side of things. And, you know, those players are amazing, and I give them full credit. And I still love the game. Of course I do. I love Dragon Ball Fighters. But there is, you know, not much of a scene without the players that make the scene, if you know what I mean. So that's my 2 cents on it. I'm just praying at some point this year. My last glimmer of hope for Dragon Ball Fighters and like and any kind of game like that is at Evo France. They show something there, and this is pure copium talking. Whether they show something to do with DBFZ 2, or, you know, I can't even say more content for the game, because the game's never getting new content. But like an updated game, you know what I'm talking about, like a Super DBFZ or a DBFZ 2, or, you know, a new anime game based on an IP from Bandai, something like that. DBFZ is a main game at UFA. I think DBFZ will always be a main game at UFA. It's like the one time of the year when everybody pulls up for the game in Europe. So, but there you go, guys. That's what I think about it. We move forward. We see what goes down, and it's going to be a hype tournament. The players always make the tournament, you know. Like, the players will always make the tournament no matter what, because the competition is what's the best thing about it. But, you know, who knows what production or whatever is going to be like. But yeah, it is what it is, guys.